We're going to do 13A number 2. It says Joe reads that 1 out of 5 eggs contains Salmonella bacteria, so he never uses more than 3 eggs in cooking. If eggs do or don't contain Salmonella independently of each other, the probability that at least 2 of Joe's 3 eggs contain Salmonella is about, and then you have your 3 options. From the lecture, I hope you have come to learn that you can use a calculator in solving almost all of these questions. I hope you know that. But the challenge now is which formula we're using to solve this, because you have the option of using the binomial PDF or the binomial CDF. So you're going to have to get really proficient about recognizing which one to use. So let's identify all the information that we're given for this question. So we described this binomial setting with a the regular notation that we learned from the lecture. We know that n is 3, right? There's 3 eggs that Joe is using, and we know the probability from the question. It tells us that the probability of an egg having Salmonella is 1 out of 5 eggs. So there's that probability. So the question is asking us, if you remember, it's saying the probability that at least 2 of Joe's 3 eggs contain Salmonella. So at least 2 means 2 or more. Alright, so I hope that's clear. At least is saying 2 or more. And so we describe at least 2 or more by saying that that probability is x or greater than 2. And remember that x is equal to k. And that's important because we need to know what k is for the binomial CDF formula or PDF formula that we put in the calculator. So if I am trying to describe exactly what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to find out the probability that the second and third egg have Salmonella. Okay? The way I calculate that probability is I have to subtract the probability of having none of the eggs have Salmonella or one of the eggs have Salmonella. And I can subtract these two by calculating this probability of having these two. And we calculate this probability by using binomial CDF. Remember, C, you can refer to it as cumulative, so it's 0 and 1. So cumulative from from 1 to 0. I hope that's clear. So in the entire probability is that you get is 1. So you subtract this left side to get the right side. So let's identify all of the information that we have for this particular question. So it's the binomial, again, CDF, cumulative, of n is 3, and the probability is 1/5, right? And the general rule for these questions that asks for the right side is the k, or the last part is k minus 1. So our k, remember, is our x is 2, but our x is equal to k, so 2 minus 1. So again, this second part right here is this whole thing right here. This is the probability. The second part right here is the probability of this whole thing. So we're subtracting that part so we can get this probability, because that's what we're asked, right, for the question. So let's just take out our calculator and turn it on and just write this out. So 1 minus, and you get to binomial CDF, if you remember, you go to the distribution, and it's in yellow, so you're going to have to go yellow and this vars button, and then you go all the way down to CDF. Again, it's CDF because you want cumulative. You're not saying just exactly 1. That's PDF. You're saying 1 and 0. So again, that's why you use CDF for questions like these. So binomial CDF, 3, and then 1/5 is just 0.2, and then 2 minus 1 is just 1, close parentheses. Your answer is 0.104. And let's go back to the question. So your answer is A. So that is a probability that at least 2 of Joe's 3 eggs contain Salmonella. This is really, really straightforward once you are familiar with the formulas for figuring out precisely a probability of one number, or the probability of something greater than or equal to, or probability of less than or equal to, or less than or greater than that. You should know all these formulas. You should have been taught that in the lectures.